If you're a producer, a music lover, a musician of any type, and you've been in that depressive mode where you just don't want to make music, you're not feeling like making music, or you just haven't been doing anything music related in weeks or maybe even months, please watch this video because I think this can help give you some motivation to get back on the horse and start creating again. This is a concept that I recently read about in a book that I'm reading, and it completely took away a lot of my personal anxiety as well about being creative, because this is the predicament that we are in as music producers, or as anybody who's really creative. We always have a desire, or at least at some point we did have a strong desire to create. We want to make the best song we can, the best instrumental, the best beat, the best cue, the best lyrics, whatever it is, record the best guitar riff, or program the coolest beat. We always want to create something incredible and something that inspires ourselves and something that we really want to share with the world and really let the world shine with us, with our creativity. In many ways, when we're in that creative space, we're not even really authoring it. It's not really coming from us in a way. We're kind of just channeling it, right? It's almost like it's just being summoned up from your imagination, from the ether out there, wherever it's coming from. And it's kind of just coming through into your speakers or into your guitar or into your drum machine, right? And that is probably one of the few times that we all as creative people feel the most alive, right? Don't you feel the most like your life has meaning and purpose when you're in that flow, when just ideas are just coming to you and you just love what's coming out of your speakers and what's coming out of your fingers and what's actually working in your creative process. That is the time that we feel like we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. Like that's what we're meant to be doing on earth. Like that is the purpose of our life, is to create in one form or another. And those times when we feel depressed and we feel that I'm just not feeling it, I don't think anybody's gonna like this, or we fill ourselves up with self-doubt that I'm probably not that good enough anyways, and there's plenty of other people that are more talented, and it's just going to be too much work, right? You know, you have the list of doubts and reasons why you shouldn't get started or shouldn't go make music. And enough of those stack up on top of you that you just start to get weighed down by just this weight of guilt and negativity that holds you down. Sometimes it's others around you that are putting that out there. Sometimes, and most often, it's internal, right? These are voices that we either got from our past, maybe from our childhood, maybe from the not too distant past. Other people may be getting rejected, right, by a library or by somebody in the industry, and feeling not worthy and just shutting down, right? All our creativity has been shut down. These are the times, on the other hand, where we feel like we are doing the exact opposite of what we're supposed to be doing on earth. This is when we feel the most lost, the most empty, the most depressed, the most low energy. We stop eating well, right? This is usually times when we start eating a lot of junk food. We stop working out. We stop going outside. We stop being social. This is when we're turning on more TV and watching more movies and playing more video games and withdrawing from the world as opposed to embracing it and contributing to it, okay? And the concept that I learned about in this book I'm reading is the concept of a creative person is kind of like a shark. And it's kind of a funny analogy, but if you know anything about sharks, many species of shark have to actually keep swimming all the time. Like they literally can never stop or they will die. The reason being is their gills have to have fresh water or ocean water always washing over them so that they can get enough oxygen into their bloodstream, okay? So sharks usually have just adapted their entire life to just moving. They're just, they're resting, they can go much slower, or they can go much faster if they're hunting, but their entire lives, for many species, not all of them, they're just moving. They're just going through the water, right? And the minute that they stop doing that one thing is when they die. Well, we are, I believe, creative sharks, right? Being creative, putting music together, programming a beat, making lyrics, writing lyrics, playing guitar, jamming on our drum set, whatever it is, that is our swimming, right? That's our movement. And when we're doing that, some days are better than others. Sometimes we're not really excited about what we're doing. I'm sure sharks have days where they're just kind of bored and they don't have any food in front of them. So they're just kind of, wandering around basically. But they know, at least subconsciously, they understand that if they don't keep doing this thing habitually, it's over for them, right? So they have a gut instinct, a sort of natural instinct to just keep moving, just keep going, okay? You'll find your adventure, you'll find your food, you'll find what you need to do. And that's what I want to share with you right now with this video is I want you to realize that if you're creative and you feel this strong desire for creating music, or even, at one point in the past you did, the reason why you probably feel depressed right now, if you do, is because you're not swimming. You're not doing what you're supposed to. And therefore, no, you're not physically dead, but spiritually, creatively, mentally, whatever, you are dead. There's just not much going on up there. You're not really blooming. Like your mind isn't blooming with ideas, and you're not tuning yourself into the universe to accept new ideas and be inspired and be creative and stay optimistic and productive, really. Just have high energy productivity. So this is what we were born to do. This is what we have to do. There's really no option. There's really no choice other than to create music. And I realized this for myself. There have been times where I've, a few years back when I almost gave up completely on music licensing, is because I just got into sort of like a treadmill with my life, just making the same kind of music, doing the same kind of thing. And I wasn't pushing myself into creative mode. And so I stopped altogether and I just stopped swimming, right? And that's when I sank big time. And it almost took me down to the point where I didn't want to come back and do it again. But I don't believe there's ever a point where it's too late. Like even if it's been 5, 10, 20 years since you've picked up your DAW and started composing music, there's no like expiration date on your creativity. If you had it at one point, it's still there. It's still buried in there. You just need to bring it back out. And one thing that really helped with my anxiety is we also get this feeling of, okay, well, now that I've created this music and I'm feeling good, don't I ever get to just rest, right? Don't sharks ever get to just stop swimming and just enjoy themselves for a while? Briefly, maybe. I mean, sharks, they can't. They have to swim maybe really slow. But for us as creative people, yeah, maybe you get a day or two where you can kind of rest on your laurels a bit and enjoy some of the music that you've been making and show it off to people. But then that thing starts coming back, right? It's this like little knocking at the door going, okay, we can't sit here for too long. We got to start swimming or we're going to die. And if you can embrace that, like you can just accept that if you're a creative person that you have to create, like literally it's the difference between you living a fulfilled life and a very unfulfilled life is just create, even if you're not excited about what you're creating, but just get into your studio and start making music. If you can embrace that that is the reality of your existence, your anxiety levels and depression levels are going to subside dramatically, right? This has been a huge game changer for me because I'm always struggling with that question. I think about that question probably 20 times a day. When do I get to rest? When do I get to just stop doing all the things that I'm doing? When do I get to stop, making music and creating this stuff and putting videos out there and all that good stuff that I'm doing, which I do love, right? But at some point you do also wonder, is this just going to happen all the time, or do I get to kind of just relax and, not do anything for a little while? And every time that I've tried that and gone away and put down my headphones and put away the MIDI keyboard and, wasn't producing something, even this video is a creative effort by me. If I'm not doing something creative, I'm drowning and I'm dying. And there's no other quick fix for it. So you have to create. You have literally no choice. The sooner you embrace that, the sooner you start realizing that will be a key to a big part of your life satisfaction, is to just embrace the ride, embrace the unknown of you got to just keep going for it. You got to keep putting effort out there. You got to keep putting your creative effort into this. Even if you're making beats that never see the light of day, they sit on your hard drive or they don't even make it to you hitting save. You just delete them before you're done with them. I don't care what you do, but just create. For your life, for your happiness, you must do this. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and share this with maybe a musician, producer friend of yours that might be a little down in the dumps, not feeling so hot, not feeling so inspired. I think this is the kind of stuff that can really help all of us pick each other up and get ourselves back into a creative spirit. Because what happens is when more and more people are following their path and following their journey and doing what they're supposed to do, right? Embracing their inner shark, the better the world becomes. It literally, it's cliche and it's cheesy, and I know. It literally does make the world a better place, because then more people are in better moods, treat each other nicely, better art and better music starts getting shared out into the universe, and that inspires us back, right? right? The music that I hear from my students, from you guys here when we do open reviews, it inspires me to kick myself up a notch to go, man, that really was a great track. I want to make a track like that. So it's a self-fulfilling loop, right? The more that we give, the more that we get. So it's an incredible concept. It really is helping me out, and I hope it helps some of you out as well.